Okay, on number 17, you're given an angle. It's a 210-degree positive angle over there. That means from the initial position, and to refresh your memory, remember we always start over here on this side. This is the initial position. This is your starting point. Okay, that's your starting point. So if I start at that starting point and I rotate counterclockwise all the way over to this red arrow, that whole measurement of that angle is 210 degrees. Okay, so the first question, part A, says one positive coterminal angle. Basically, what's another way of measuring, or what's another way of stating the measurement of that angle that's positive but not 210? Okay, so let me change this color since that's red. So that would be where you rotate from the initial position all the way around back to the initial position. And if you rotate all the way around back to the initial position, that's 360 degrees. Then from 360 degrees, I rotate around to the 210. So you're still representing the same angle. It's just imagine going all the way around the unit circle to 360 and then continuing on back to that 210 degree angle measure. So one positive coterminal would be where you add the 360, the complete entire rotation, plus the 210 degree rotation. And when you add them together, you get 570 degrees. So that's another positive coterminal angle measure of that 210 measurement. If I wanted to measure that angle negatively, you remember negative angles are when you rotate clockwise. So from the initial position, again, we're starting here. We're starting in the initial position, and we're going to rotate clockwise. So from the initial position onto this angle, what is the measure of this angle in negative degree? Well, the way that my brain works is I know that completely all the way around that entire unit circle is 360. Okay, so what I think is, okay, well, if I know that that red angle is 210 and completely around circled is 360, I do 360 minus 210 to get the positive measure of that. And what's 360 minus 210? It's 150. So the angle measurement of this is positive 150. It's positive 150. But it's also negative 150 because it just so happens to be sitting on the initial position. And if I rotate counterclockwise from that initial position, it rotates the same distance as the 150. So it's negative 150. So just remember that negative angles are measured rotating clockwise from the initial position. The reference angle, the definition of a reference angle is the acute angle that is formed with the x-axis. So here's our x-axis, okay? Here's our x-axis. I'm bolding it in blue. There's my x-axis. Okay, so if I wanted to form an acute angle with my red line there, would I use the left side of my x-axis or the right side? You would use the left side, because if I use the left side of your x-axis and this red angle, that is an acute angle. Now let me change it back to red. If I use the right side and that angle, that's an obtuse angle. So I'm going to use the left side, and that is your acute angle. So your reference angle is going to be the angle measure of this angle. So if I know that from the initial position all the way around to that red angle is 210, how can I find the measure of the reference angle? Well, I know that to this position it's 180. So what is 210 minus 180? 210 minus 180 will give you the measure of that reference angle, which is 30 degrees.